Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. In this lesson, we are learning about Ismul Ala, noun of instrument, and we have seen that it has three patterns: mif'alun, like miftahun and mishkatun. And then we have the pattern of mif'alun, which is like mis'adun and mirfaqun. And then we have the pattern of mif'alatun, like miknasatun and minsa'atun. So these are the patterns that are for Ismul Ala. And we know that when we talk about noun of instrument or Ismul Ala, that means our instrument is kasra, if you remember. So it always takes kasra, like the meme always takes kasra when we talk about Ismul Ala, whereas dharf always takes fatha. Sugh min al af'al al atiyati. So now I'm sure you're used to it. Sugh is from sagha yasughu, and fi'l al-amr will be sugh. Min is harf jar, al af'al al atiyati, mawsuf sifa. And now we know that asma will be mansub. Why it will be mansub? Because it is maf'ul bihi for sugh. Yani anta tasugh, yani. So it will be sugh. Asma al-alati, the noun of instrument, ala wazani, on the pattern of mif'alatun. So now we have to make a noun of instrument on the pattern of mif'alatun. Kanasa yaknusu, to sweep or to broom. So what will be the Ismul Ala for this?
Miknasatun.
Miknasatun. That means a broom or a sweeper. Then we have layaqa, yalaqu, that means to lick. Yes. Milaqatun. So that means the instrument of licking, like a spoon. Then we have taraqa yatruqu, to knock or to hammer something. Mitraqatun, that means a hammer, as we can see here. Then we have satara yasturu, to draw a line. Mistaratun, your instrument of drawing a line. Excellent. Then we have asara yasiru, to squeeze something. So asara yasiru will be mi'saratun. Yeah, mi'saratun. So the squeezer, that means it will be used for the juicer, the machine that is used for juicing. So it will be called mi'saratun. And asr, as we know, wal asr innal insana lafi khusr. So that is the time which is like the whole day is getting squeezed and it is about to finish. So that is the time when we try to wind up everything and try to expedite our work and try to complete the job or everything that we are supposed to do. So that's why that is the time is called asr. Then we have gharafa yaghrifu, to scoop. Yes.
Maghrifatun.
Yeah. So mi'saratun is here, as we can see, and then we have mighrafatun. We have seen in the first lesson the big spoon, and then we have from the pattern of, or from the verbs that are naqis. Naqis, as we know that when it ends with ya, it is called naqis ya'i, and when it ends with waw, it is called naqis wawi. From the present tense, most of the times we can figure out whether it is wawi or ya'i, and we can see that when it is ya'i, the ya comes out in the mudari, and when it is wawi, then the waw comes out in mudari. So from qala yaqli, to fry, and we have miqlatun, frying pan. Asluha miqlayatun, on the pattern of mif'alatun. All right, now I hope that you remember the rule when ya has fatha or when ya is mutaharrik and there is fatha before it. What is the rule? Does anyone remember?
Ya becomes sakin ustad, then it changes into alif.
Basically, it changes into alif. So whenever ya is mutaharrik, either it has fatha or kasra or dhamma, and there is fatha before it, then it changes into alif. So the easy way to make it will be simply you change ya into alif and it becomes miqlatun. So miqlayatun becomes miqlatun. Then we have maha yamhu, to erase, and the original form asluhu or asluha, ha refers to the kalima. So mimhawatun, and as we can see here, the rule is the same. When waw is mutaharrik and there is fatha before it, it changes into alif. The rule is applicable to both. This is a universal rule for both waw and ya. Whenever waw and ya are mutaharrik and there is fatha before it, they change into alif. So mimhawatun changes into mimhatun, eraser. Then we have kawayakwi, to iron, and ismul ala will be mikwatun. Excellent, mikwatun. And asluha mikwayatun, and it changes into mikwatun. Bara yabri, to trim something. Yes. Mibratun. That means mibrayatun. Asluha mibrayatun. Sharpener. Then we have safa yasfu. That means to be pure and unpolluted. To be pure and unpolluted. Safa yasfu. Misfatun, excellent. Misfatun, that means a filter. The filter that we use like in our cars, or like to clean water, so air filter or water filter. So that is called misfatun. Asluha misfatun. Yeah, okay. Then we have ra'a, yara, to see.
Mir'atun.
Excellent. Mir'atun. Perfect. Mir'atun. Yeah, and asluhu mir'ayatun. So you know here we have a combination of two alif. We have, so here ya also changes into alif. Why? Because there is fatha before it, and we know that when alif is sakin and then it has fatha before it, it changes into a mad, al-mad al-tabi'i or mad al-asli. So it becomes mir'atun. Then we have raqiya yarqa, to ascend or to climb. Mirqatun. Excellent. Mirqatun. And asluha will be mirqayatun. All right. Excellent. Now, Ayin, you have to figure out, or you have to specify asma al-alati, the noun of instrument, fi ma yati, the one that follows, wadhkur, and then you have to mention wadhna, kulli wahidin minha, and then you have to mention the awzan or the wazn or the pattern of each one of them. So we have to specify asma, noun of instrument, and then we have to mention its pattern. An Abi Hurairata, so we know that Abi was basically Abu, Aba, Abi, and because of harf jar an, we have to use Abi, which is the third form, which is majroor, and Hurairata, mamnu min as-sarf, radiyallahu, may Allah be pleased with him, radiyallahu anhu, may Allah be pleased with him, anna, that, and after anna, the noun will be mansoob. Anna Rasulallahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam qal. So from Abu Huraira, or Abu Huraira radiyallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, al-mu'minu mubtada, mir'atul mu'mini is the mirror of the mu'min. So the believer is the believer's mirror. Al-mu'minu mir'atul mu'mini, and it is mu'mini because mir'at here is mudaf and al-mu'min is mudaf ilayh. The believer is the believer's mirror. Fi hadithin, then in another hadith, nazala, he came down, who came down, or who descended, nazala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So this is verb and this is the fa'il. Mirqatan min al-minbari. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam descended a step from the pulpit. Okay, we forgot to the original thing that we need to know. Mir'atun. What is the pattern of mir'atun? Yes. Ismul ala. Okay, yes, we know.
Mif'alun.
Are you sure? In the previous exercise, we did it that it's on the pattern of mif'alatun. Mir'ayatun.
Mif'alatun.
Yeah, mir'ayatun, and after the changes, it has changed into mir'atun. What about mirqat?
Mirkayatun.
Okay, so the original,
Mirqayatun.
what will be the original pattern? Mif'alatun, right? Mif'alatun.
Mif'alatun.
And what about member?
اسم مكان الفعل. منبر.
Why? It has kasra, isn't it?
Mimbar.
Yes.
Mif'al.
Mif'alun. Okay. So if you see here, al-mu'minu, mir'atul mu'mini, mif'alatun. Mirqatun is on the pattern of mif'alatun, and member is on the pattern of mif'alun. The pulpit. So I hope it's clear now. So this is the verb, and then we have ismul fa'il, and then we have min al-member is basically jar majroor, and mirqat. And what do you think about mirqat? Is this maf'ul bihi? We have fail plus we have fa'il.
اسم
It's mansoob. Okay.
مفعول به يستخدم منبر
Min al-member is jar majroor, right? Okay, so I think it cannot be maf'ul bihi because nazala is lazim. This does not need an object. So the Messenger of Allah descended. It could be hal as well. If you are able to figure out, that's fine. If not, it could be maf'ul bihi as well, but not here because nazala is fi'l lazim, and it does not need an object. However, whenever we use the object after that, then the object should come with the preposition. This is called indirect object. So after, for example, ذهب بلال إلى المسجد إلى المدرسة. So when we use with the preposition, that is called indirect object. So after al-af'al al-lazima, or the verb that is lazim, after that we can use maf'ul bihi that should come after the jar majroor. And what kind of maf'ul bihi is this? Indirect object. Indirect object. But we cannot say it's direct object because the direct object is used only for the verbs that are mut'addi, that they need object. For example, you say daraba hamidun, Hamid hit or struck bilalan. So now it needs the maf'ul bihi. So these small details we need to be careful about. في حديث, then there is another hadith. طاف يطوف, yeah, طاف النبي. So here النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم is the ism al-fa'il, is the place of the doer. عليه, on him. Okay, what will be the ending of these two or these kalimatain? What will be the ending?
كسرة.
Why? As-salati was-salami. How? This is the most basic pattern, and we have been discussing about it from book number 1. See here, Taf al-Nabiyu, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed or did a tawaf. This is done. This is Jumlatul Fi'liya. Okay. Now here, this is Jumlatul Ismiya. Okay, now it should be easier for you now. When we have Jumlatul Ismiya, please remember that jar majroor cannot be the mubtada. They cannot be subject. They will always be predicate. So that means as-salatu was-salamu is mubtada and alayhi is khabar. So this is khabar muakhar. So this is mubtada muakhar and khabar muqaddam. That you remember that why it is done in Arabic language, we have discussed many times that this is for the purpose of emphasis. It could be as-salatu was-salamu alayhi, that is perfectly all right grammatically. But when we say alayhi as-salatu was-salamu, this is more emphatic. Lillahi ma fi samawati wa ma fi al-ard. How many times we have discussed that example? So whenever jar majroor comes before the mubtada, that means it has come because of the purpose of the emphasis. And it has been used a lot in the Quran. This usloob is very common in the Quran, that jar majroor always comes before the mubtada. So this is mubtada, as-salatu was-salamu is mubtada, and alayhi is khabar. Is this clear now? So طاف النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام في حجة. So now this is easier. في جار مجرور في حرف جار حجة الوداع. This is جار مجرور plus مضاف مضاف إليه. على بعير on the camel. يستلم استلاما is also used to point towards something, and also it is basically used to receive something by hand, like istilamul kitab or islamul wajba. When you receive the meal, if you go to there, they say that this is like qismul istilam, the place where you receive something. Yastalimu rukana, so rukan refers to the Hajar Aswad bil mihjani. So mihjan is here, as we can see here. So in his last Hajj, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ performed tawaf of the Kaaba, riding a camel and pointed a bent-headed stick. So bent-headed stick, as we can see here, like the handle of the umbrella. So that is called mihjan ala ba'irin, on his camel, towards the corner. Yastalimu rukna bil mihjani. So and pointed a bent-headed stick towards the corner or the black stone. So corner, basically the rukn means corner, and it means the black stone. So I hope, inshallah, this hadith is clear now. And muttafaqun alayh, that means agreed upon by both Imam Bukhari and Imam Muslim, rahimahumullah. Then we have an Abdillah. Okay, what will be the ending of Kalimatul Ibn?
Ibni.
Okay, why? Why?
Mudaf ilayh.
مضاف عليه على طول.
Not alatul, but you can say an Abdillahi. Okay, Abd is majroor because of an Abdillahi. But we know that when the kalima ibn comes between two proper nouns, it becomes the sifa for the first noun. So it is majroor because it is a sifa over here. And then Lili Abdillah, yani this is sifa for that. And Abbasin is majroor because it is used as mudaf for Abbasin. So whenever kalima ibn comes between alamain, so the first one, for the first one it will be sifa, and for the second one it will be mudaf. And we have discussed this many times. So that's why it is Abdullah ibn Abbasin. So kalimatul ibn is majroor because of it is sifa of Abdullah, and Abbasin is majroor because here it is used as mudaf for Abbasin. Radiyallahu anhuma, qal anhuma. Yes, please tell me why anhuma. Why not anhu?
It refers both.
Both Abdullah and Abbas, both of them, they are the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sahaba. So that's why it is anhuma. Naha, to forbid Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ala kulli, right? Dhi nabin. So we know that after kulli, it is used as mudaf. The noun will be mudaf ilayh. Dhu, the. So that's why it is the. And nabin is the mudaf ilayh for the. So a nab is basically animals that have fangs like this over here. So naha Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ala kulli dhi nabin. The Messenger of Allah prohibited the eating. So we know that over here eating is mafhum. It is already understood that why it was like forbidden. So prohibited the eating of every beast of prey with fang, yani like wild animals. Minas sabai, from wild animals, or the animals of prey. Wa an kulli, and from every dhi mikhlabin min at-tayri, and every bird that has claw, as we can see over here. So here we have nab, here we have mihjan, it is in the previous hadith, and here we have mikhlab. So all the animals that have fangs, they are mamnu, we cannot eat them. And similarly, all the birds of prey that like they hunt other birds, they have mikhlab, they are also not permissible to eat. All right, so what is the pattern of mikhlab? Mikhlab is on the pattern of mif'al. Okay, mif'alun, perfect. All right, and mihjan is on the pattern of mif'alun, right? So both of them are on the pattern of mif'alun. All right, so we are so much engrossed in the hadith that we have forgotten that we have to look for the noun of instrument. So mif'al and mikhlab, both of them are nouns of instrument. All right. So they, you can see here mif'alan, and both of them are on the pattern of mif'alan. And now we have a little bit more detail here. Al-ba'iru. So these are the footnotes. I thought like maybe we can go through quickly. Min al-ibili bi manzilatil insani min al-nasi. So basically, a ba'ir is like from the jinns of the animal. It has the same manzil. What will be the meaning of manzila? We have taken that in ismul in dharf. Manzil, and from manzil we use ta marbuda, and it will be manzilatun. What will be the meaning of manzilatun?
The house, the
Okay, so the place of landing.
place.
So it will be basically used the same status, it has the same status. Okay, like insan has status among the humans, as insan has status among the humans. Like, how can we say what is the status of insan in the humans? Like, for example, insan can be a male, can be female, can be a kid, can be a husband, can be a wife. So we have different categories. Similarly, so Ba'ir is also from the family or from the genus of Ibil. Okay, Ibil, do you remember the hadith, the verse of Ibil of the Quran that is about Ibil? أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ. Yeah, we have discussed in the previous lesson. So basically, Ibil is used for yutlaqu. It is applicable ala al-jamali wa naqati. It is applicable to both to the male camel and to the female camel, or he camel or she camel. So ba'iru is used for both he camel and she camel. استلم الحجر الأسود أي لمسه باليد, يعني he touched it by his hand. استلم يستلم استلاما, as I told you, استلام means to get something or to receive something with your own hands, or to touch something with your own hands. However, it can be translated as to point towards something as well. الركن المراد به هنا الحجر الأسود, so it means the black stone. Then we have المحجن خشبة في طرفها إعوجاج. So this is basically a piece of wood which has on its end إعوجاج. There is a curve to the end. إعوجاج. إعوج. Do you remember the word إعوج from the Quran? الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. So the root letters are the same, crookedness. Excellent. Yeah. So mihjan is basically it's a piece of wood which has like curved ending of it. Hajana ashayya yahjunu, that means he pulled something. Basically, it means jadabuhu bil mihjani. Jadaba yajidu means to, like when you attract something. Jadabahu bil mihjani, he attracted something by mihjan, yani he pulled it by something. So this is the beauty of the language. And nabu, we have discussed in the previous that is like used for the jaws of the claws of the jaws of the animals. As-sinnu, basically it's the tooth, bijanib al-raba'iyati, and we know that this is the position of the teeth, and you will learn about them in the classes of the tajweed, like when you are doing your makharij. And the plural of an-nagu is aniyabun wa nuyubun. So basically it means teeth, or we can say these are the canine teeth. Canine teeth are called an-nabu. As-sub'u, and the plural is as-siba'u. Kullu ma lahu nabun kal-asadi wal-dhi'bi wal-namari. So all of them, they are from the family of the cat family, like asad, lion, wal-dhib is wolf, and namar is used for the leopard. So all of them that are from the family of the cat, they are called as-sub'u, and the plural is siba'un. And al-mikhlabu, as we have seen, huwa li-ta'iri, so it is for the bird, was-sub'i, and for the wild animal, kadh-dhufri, like the nail, lil-insani, of the humans. So it's basically for humans we call them nails, and for the bird and for the wild animals we call them mikhlab. So for human beings we call them al-dhufr, nail, and for the birds and the animals what do we call them? Al-mikhlab. Al-tayru jam'un, and mufraduhu ta'irun, and tayru is the plural of ta'irun, the bird. Now it's up to you. This exercise is only for you. Istakhrij ma fi darsi. What kind of ma is this?
Mawsula.
Excellent. And why is that? It's like istakhrij whatever or which what or which. So whenever it is translated like what
It's like
or
the
which,
maful
yeah.
bihi. It's like the maful bihi.
It is also maf'ul bihi
What
as
is
well,
there
but
in
yes, yeah. So istakhrij ma fi darsi. So whatever is in the lesson, you have to extract min from asma'il alati, from noun of instrument. So basically, we have to extract from the dars, that is a noun of instrument. Wadhkur, and we have to mention wazna kulli wahidin, and the pattern of each one of them. Minha, from them. Wal fi'l alladhi ushtuqqa minhu, and from the verb that it has been derived from. So from the lesson, we have all of them over here. We can just go through quickly. From gharafa, we have mighrafatun on the pattern of mif'alatun. Qala, we have miqlatun on the pattern of mif'alatun. Just a small correction, please. In the beginning of the lesson, we mentioned that this is from the pattern of miftahun, and that's a mistake. That's not on the pattern of mif'alun, it is on the pattern of mif'alatun. When Ahmed said that I need mikwatun wa miqlatun and the things that she needed, and we are human beings, and this testifies that we are human beings, that we have to make mistakes. Then we have kawa, and from kawa we have mikwatun. Qassa, we have miqassun, and we know that this is muda'af, the verb that has two same root letters. And then we have satara, from satara we have mistaratun. Maha, to erase, and we have mimhatun. Bara, to sharpen something, and we have mibratun. Fataha, to open, and we have miftahun. Sa'ida, to climb, and then we have mis'adun, or to ascend, and we have ismul ala, mis'ad, which is used for the lift. So miqlatun, frying pan, mikwatun, iron, miqassun, pair of scissors, mistaratun, ruler, mimhatun, eraser, mibratun, pencil sharpener, miftahun, key, and mis'adun is the lift. And now we have amthilatun ala ism al-alati min al-Quran. So we have some examples for you over here. Now, of course, you have seen the process, like how the process, and you have seen the awzan as well. And the reference of each and every verse is there. So it's up to you now to figure out the wazn and to look at the meaning as well. So we will only just look at ism al-ala. So ta'kulu min sa'atahu. So it's on the pattern of min sa'atun, is on the pattern of mif'alatun. Min sa'atun, mif'alatun. Then we have mathalu nurihi, the mishkatun. Mishkatun is on the pattern of,
Mifalatun.
so it was mishkayatun. It's basically shaka yashku. Yeah, shaka yashku, and then we have mishkayatun, and then it will be mishkatun. Okay, then we have وَيُهَيِّئْ لَكُم مِّنْ أَمْرِكُم مِرْفَقًا. Mirfaqun on the pattern of mif'alun. Excellent. Mithqal.
مفعال
Mif'alun. Okay. What will be the ending of mithqal?
إن الله لا يظلم
It's a verse, so we
مثقال.
don't need to. Yes, excellent. Mithqala. So yeah. Inna Allah la yadhlimu mithqala dharratin. Then we have discussed about this al-mikyal wal-mizan wa la tanqusul mikyala wal-mizana.
والميزان.
Okay. And then we have mafatihu. Okay, please figure out the pattern.
Mafailu. Mafailu.
مفاعل.
Mafa'ilu. Have we discussed any pattern of ismul ala that is mafa'ilu? Okay,
This
so
is
it's,
plural.
come on. Okay, mafatihu is the plural of what?
Miftahun.
Miftahun.
the key,
Yeah,
miftah.
miftahun. Okay, so this is the plural of miftahun. And now that point comes over there in the previous lesson, maybe I discussed or told you that for ismul ala and ismul dharf as well, that the plural 99.9% it comes on the pattern of mif'alu. Mif'alu. So the mafa'ilu. Mafa'ilu. So that's why we have here mafatihu. So most of them, the plural will be on the pattern of mafa'ilu. So indahu, so this is basically miftahun, and from miftahun the plural is mafatihu. Wa indahu mafatihul ghaibi. And then we know that there is jam'ul jam' in Arabic language, the plural of the plural. So what will be the plural of mafatihu?
مفاتيح.
Mafatihu. Excellent. So the first, normally Mafatihu, I think that hasn't been used in the Quran, but Mafatihu has been used. So وعنده مفاتيح الغيب. So inshallah now, I'm sure that you will remember that whenever we have this pattern, that means this is always the plural. Either it is the plural from dharf or it's the plural from ism al-ala. And then you can figure out, for example, fataha yaftahu and miftahun, and from miftahun we have mafatihu. All right, there are so many things that we need to focus on. Then we have bayan. نوع كل من المشتقات الآتية. مشتقات. What are مشتقات?
Derived nouns.
Nouns. Okay, so that means this could be the ending of the derived nouns. That's why the Sheikh has introduced the word mushtaqat over here. And the reason why it has been introduced, that means that all of them that we have learned so far, for example, we have learned, what are those that we have learned so far? Mushtaqat, ism al-fa'il. Come on, ism al-maf'ul.
مفعول.
Yes. Okay,
اسم
dharf.
العلا.
اسم زمان اسم مكان.
Yes, dharf. Okay, that is called ism zaman wa makan, which is basically called dharf and ism al-ala. So basically, ism al-fa'il wa ism al-maf'ul, two of them. Then we have dharf al-zaman wa dharf al-makan. We can say either one or two because they are sometimes used in the same. So 2 + 2 will be 4, and then ism al-ala is 5. So from every verb, now you can derive at least 5 nouns you can make from the 3 root letters like fataha and daraba, nasara, karuma, whatever verb you have, you can make these 5 by yourselves now, inshallah. So that means this is the end of the derived nouns. So we have to specify the kind of the derived noun mushtaqat from each of the words that we have here, over here. So mar'iyun.
مفعول.
Mar'iyun is ismul
مفعول.
maf'ul. Excellent. Then we have mar'an.
اسم العلا.
Ism al-ala will never take fatha. It always takes
Okay.
kasra. It's dharf basically. Ism al-makan wa zaman, both. You don't need to be confused. It's very simple. When you see a kasra, that means it is ism al-ala. And when you don't see kasra, there is a possibility that it would be like ism al-maf'ul, but it could be also dharf as well. But we know the patterns of dharf and ism al-maf'ul are completely different. However, when we have a weak letter, sometimes we can get confused, but you shouldn't be confused, inshallah. Now you should be able to figure out. Mir'atun.
اسم العلا أستاذ.
Ism al-ala, excellent, perfect. All right, so we have discussed today. Ism al-ala. Miqyalun.
على.
اسم
Ism
العلا.
al-ala, from the kasra, yes, clear from the kasra, perfect. Then we have makilun.
اسم مفعول أستاذ.
Ism al-maf'ul, okay, excellent. Ism al-maf'ul.
مكيل.
Yes, makilun.
اسم
On the pattern of
Full
mazidun, on the pattern of mazidun, you remember? Fahal min mazid. Mabniyun, on the pattern of mabniyun. So you can remember so many patterns. Fatihun.
فاعل.
Ism al-fa'il, excellent. The doer. Miftahun.
على.
اسم
Ism
العلا.
al-ala, excellent. Maftuhun.
مفعول.
Ism al-maf'ul, excellent. All right. Then we have Mawlidun.
اسم المكان والزمان.
Excellent. It could be both time and place. Perfect. Ism al-makan wa zaman. And then we have Mawludun.
مفعول.
Maf'ulun. Excellent. So this is ism maf'ul. Excellent. Hati, now you have to bring, or you have to provide Jam'a, the plural. Al-asma' al-atiyati. So now we have to provide the plural of the following nouns. Okay. Talibatun.
طالبات.
Talibatun. And what does it mean?
Female. Sorry.
The required things.
Ma akthara talibatiki, if you remember the lesson. Demands, requirements,
Needs.
needs, demands, requirements. Tirazun, model. up, you remember أطرزة on the pattern of أفعلة, like أسئلة, أجوبة, أفئدة, and also it has another plural, which will be طرز on the pattern of فعل. So it has two plurals, the one that was discussed in the beginning of the lesson, which is أطرزة on the pattern of أفئلة, and also it has plural of طرز, which means also on the pattern of فعل. مطفف.
مطففون.
مطففون, excellent. Why it is مطففون? Why do we have una? Because it is ismul fa'il.
Sound.
Yeah, ismul fa'il, yes. And or we can say, yeah, so whenever we have the derived ismul fa'il will always have the una, ina sound. However, it can have the other plural as well on the pattern of fu'alun, but it will always take the plural of una, ina. That is something that will always happen. So it will be مطففون, مطففون, مطففين, مطففين. Now we have some vocab over here. Alhamdulillah, our lesson is completed. طالبة, and the plural request or demand, طالبات. طبعا, of course. قمح is used for wheat. عدس, lentils. And when we add ta marbuta to it, it means the lens of the glasses that we wear. So عدسة, and the plural will be adasatun, lenses. Then we have mikhlabun, the claw, and makhalibu, as you can see that we have discussed that it will always take the plural on the pattern of mafa'ilu. All of them, they will be on the pattern of mafa'ilu. And then we have mutaffifun, one who weighs or measures less, and the plural is mutaffifuna. Tirazun, we've just discussed turazun and atrizatun, two plurals. Model. Then we have ajwadu. It is from jayyadun. Okay, from jayyadun it's ajwadu, the finest. All right, so what's the meaning of jayyadun? Something that is good.
Very good. Perfect.
Very good, yeah. Okay, so ajwadu, what's the pattern of ajwadu? It is on the pattern of
Ahsanu,
afalu,
like
afalu
ahsanu.
tafdil, yes, afalu tafdil, which we use for comparative or
akbaru.
superlative. Okay.
Superlative.
Yes, burran is used for wheat, or also some like brown bread, something that is brown. So that is burran. Alatun, and the plural is alatun. Ismul ala that we are discussing about. Then we have a dhi'bun, wolf, and the plural is dhi'abun on the pattern of fi'alun. All right. Namirun, leopard or tiger, and the plural is numurun. We have to always look for the plural, because the plural, the broken plural is always like, it has different patterns, and most of the times the patterns, the most common or one of the most common is fu'ulun, fu'ulun. We have seen that these patterns are very common. So namirun, numurun, wailun, which is woe or affliction. Then we have wadda'a, yuwaddi'u, tawdi'an, to say farewell or to say goodbye, to bid farewell. Yes, which verb form is this?
Sabbaha Ustad.
سبح يسبح.
Number 2, sabbaha yusabbihu tasbihan. Okay. Wada'un is basically, so normally, as we know that this can have like, this is also one of the forms of masdar. This is basically called ismul masdar. So inshallah, we will discuss about this as well. So it should be tawdi'an and also wada'un. For example, tawadda'a yatawadda'u, to make wudu, and wudu'un is also used as ismul masdar. Bara yabri, bariyan, to trim, sharpen a pencil, and then we have ismul ala, mibaratun. Qala yaqli, qaliyan. Look at the, please also focus on the masdar as well. Qaliyan, and then it is miqlatun. Okay, why masdar is mansoob all the time? Very
Because
basic questions.
grammatically
Mhm.
it's always used as maf'ul mutlaq, and
Always it is used,
Yes.
basically it is maf'ul mutlaq. So the answer will be, it is maf'ul mutlaq, and you know maf'ul is always mansoob. And so the grammarians, the reason why they write it mansoob is because it is always used as maf'ul mutlaq. So qala yaqli, qaliyan, and ismul ala will be miqlatun. Then we have maha yamhu, mahwan, to erase, and ismul ala will be mimhatun. Kawa yakwi kayyan, and then we have ismul ala mikwatun. Then we have safa, yasfu, and if you see, or if you look at the masdar, it is wasafa'an, no, sorry, wasafa'an. So this is waw al Ataf.
Ataf.
Safwan, yes. Wa safa'an. To be pure and unpolluted. And then we have misfatun, strainer or filter. Raqiya yarqa, ruqiyan, and to climb or to ascend. And then we have mirqatun, used for the step in a staircase. Nashara yanshuru nashran, to spread. It is also used to spread something, and also to saw. So minsharun, the instruments that is used for cutting the wood. Then we have haratha yahruthu harthan, to blow, and then we have mihrathan. Zalaja yazliju zaljan, to slide along, and then we have mizlajun, sliding bolt. Then we have hakka yuhukku hakkan, to rub or scratch, and then we have mihakkun, qassa yaqussu qassan, and then we have miqassun. When it has the meaning of to tell a story, what will be the difference then? Qassa yaqussu qassan will be the same. How would we differentiate that it is used to cut or it is used to narrate a story?
Surah doesn't have shaddas that passes, it discusses.
La, la.
No,
It comes with the preposition of ala. نحن نقص عليك نبأهم بالحق. So قص يقص, when it comes with the preposition of ala, then it means to narrate a story, to tell a story. But when it comes only by itself, then it means to cut. And that's why we have miqassun, pair of scissors. We discussed in the lesson, by the way, that when we use with the preposition of
you
ala.
told us.
Yes, all right. قاد يقود, قيادة, to lead in or to lead an animal by a halter, and also to steer a car as well.
To lead an
Miqwadu.
army also we say qada. To lead an army also, not only an animal, is that? Or
Yes, the army, the leader, qa'idun is used for the leader. The person who leads the army or the leader, any kind of leader is called qa'idun. Then we have halaba yahlubu halban, to milk, and mihlabun is used for the milking vessel. Barada yabrudu bardan, and then we have mibradun, the file that is used like for the instruments to sharpen them. Sa'ida yas'adu su'udan, to climb, and then we have mis'ad. Sa'ada,
The left-
Sa'ida, yes, to climb or to ascend. Qabada yaqbidu qadban, then we have qabada ala, means to arrest someone or to get hold of something. And when we just talk about qabada yaqbidu qabdan, that means just to hold something. And when it comes with the preposition of ala, that means to arrest someone, to seize or to grasp. And then we have miqbadun, handle. Satara yasturu satran, to draw lines, and mistaratun is a ruler. Layaqa yalaqu laqan, to lick, and then we have milaqatun, noun of instrument. Gharafa yaghrifu gharfan, mighrafatun, scoop, large spoon, and the plural is magharifu, all of them. So what will be the plural of milaqatun?
malaiqu.
Mala'iqu, excellent. So we have asara yasiru, asran, and then we have mi'saratun, which is basically a machine that is used like a juicer. So the plural will be ma'asiru, right? Then we have taraqa yatruqu tarqan, to strike the metal or to knock. And then we have mitraqatun and matariqu, hammers. And dalla ala shay'i, dalla yadullu dalalatan, a very common verb used in the Arabic language to denote or to indicate, and
To guide.
yes, to guide as well. Qasa yaqisu qiyasan, and then we have ismun ala miqyasun, measure or measuring instrument. Nasaha yansahu nushan wa nasihatan, so to advise someone. And then we have wasitatun, a means or medium, and the plural is wasa'itu. And in the lesson we have biwasitatihi, by means of it or through it. Alhamdulillah, we have completed our lesson, and inshallah, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will continue. And in the next lesson, inshallah, we will continue from lesson number. Do you remember or not?
8 Ustad.
8. Alhamdulillah. So inshallah, the basic purpose of these lessons, as we know, is to be able to understand the Quran. So that's why we have lots of examples from the Quran, and that is our ultimate target. That these books, basically, we are not like focusing on learning Arabic only or the everyday Arabic. In fact, our target is to be able to understand the Quran, inshallah, and these books will help us a lot. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام. جزاك الله خير.
وإياكم.